This internet foolishness is undefeated. Last week, Tyrese ex Samantha Lee, she responded. She went on to a show and talked about her leaving her marriage too early and the regrets that she had in the marriage. In that conversation, she spoke about so many different things of women taking accountability and women not being held accountable, in society. But Tyrese responded, and he didn't respond in kind. And all over social media, she was being destroyed, lambasted. I mean, just killed. So she had to now respond again and basically come and clean up some of the stuff that she was saying because the internet was destroying this woman. So, I mean, in that, let's get off into what she was talking about because this internet stuff is crazy. Let's check this out.
Visceral. Would you desire to unfinalize it? No. 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 A lot of things were blown out of proportion, but at the end of the day, if you watch the entire interview, I guarantee you have a different perspective than what we had. And so when we're talking about, oh, women don't take accountability, it's like, okay, well, if you're not creating the atmosphere for people to take accountability, they're not going to take accountability. That's the point. If you are going to attack people for their truth, y'all, even men that are on here, if your woman is asking you to be honest with her, right? If your woman is asking you to be honest with her, and every time you're honest with her, either she reacts poorly or she weaponizes it after the fact, are you still going to be open with that individual? No. You're not. You're not going to be. All I was trying to do, if I'm posting content, I'm telling women, I'm telling men, take accountability, have a real, really when you heal, you in all your relationships, take accountability. If I'm not taking accountability, I'm a hypocrite. If I don't sit in that seat and I'm telling people to sit in that seat, then I am a hypocrite. Right? And so in my mind, I'm saying to myself, okay, Sam, I went into that thing. I prayed to God. I said, God, what do you want me to do? God said, be authentic. And I said, okay, God. I jumped into the thing. The plan was to talk about dating after divorce. But when I got in there, the change of plan. Whoop! Change of plan. We're going to talk about how you got to your decision and if there's anything you regret about the process that you would or how you would advise somebody else to do it. And so that's exactly what we did, and I was being as truthful without shaming another person as I could be. And that's what accountability is. But I do want to say that as a woman taking accountability in that particular instance, that would make me never want to do it again. If we want a certain behavior from people, if we want a certain behavior from women, if women are the ones that we are complaining about that don't take accountability, which men and women don't take accountability, okay? And we gonna talk about what accountability is, because I think that we as a society don't have a clear understanding of what that actually is. So we're gonna break that down today. But it's all about creating an atmosphere where someone feels safe enough to do so. And if they don't feel safe, why would they? I think that in my mind, like at this point in my life, I've become a lot more secure about certain things. So I'm able to reveal a lot more on the social media space about my personal life because I'm okay with it. It is what it is. Most of the people that are commenting about me or about my situation have no idea what I'm going through. They don't know the truth of the matter. A lot of people have a lot of opinions and they have no idea what the truth is. They're taking one person's word versus another person's word versus another person's word. Like social media is literally the space where you can literally cancel somebody without any evidence at all. People would rather believe a lie without evidence than truth with evidence. That's how crazy the space is. But we don't create the atmosphere for people to do so. It's not safe. You want people to be honest, but it's not safe. It's not safe. Some women, oh, women don't take accountability. Women don't take accountability. Woman takes accountability. Says, hey, I could have made a decision in a better frame of mind. I could have made a decision with a better, I could have been more clear. I could have done it at a time. I could have filed at a time where I was more clear. I could have filed at a time where I really had I was more emotionally grounded and not highly upset in the moment. I could have done it at that time versus doing it that's really where I had the biggest issue. She's saying this social media climate happening today is not making safe space for women to bare their souls. The level of hate out there makes me sad. Here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. There's a lot of lies being put out there on the internet to paint me in a certain light. And I'm not going to get into that because that's not what today's about. But if you really watch it and you really see it for what it is, it's very clear what's happening. It's very clear. If someone is shamed so much for their truth, and then you wonder why social media is so superficial. So the very thing that we're complaining about, we create the atmosphere because we're not creating an atmosphere that is safe for someone to share who they really are and how they really feel. We're not creating a space. We're not creating a space where some woman can go on live with no makeup on and no filter on and feel comfortable. Because guess what? If she does that, she can get hate. Like I can get hate comments right now. Oh, you wearing no makeup. You look terrible. Blah, blah, blah. I can get all that now. Right? You're not creating an atmosphere for someone to feel safe. And that's what we talk about. Oh, superficial. Women are superficial. Men are superficial. We don't have, what other infrastructure do we have? Most people took the 2 20-second, 10-second clips that were clipped out and obviously created a stir and a buzz, which is what it's supposed to. It's the culture right now. But if you really watch the content, my whole point and my whole goal of that particular interview was for me to basically share what I would have done differently. And I'm going to go over what those things were. First thing I said was that at the time of certain things, when I filed, I filed in the heat of a moment. I was very, very hurt. I was very, very angry. I never said I regretted my whole decision. What I did say was, I regretted doing it in a moment where I was emotionally intoxicated. If I could take that back, I would. That doesn't mean I regretted the decision. I regretted doing it in a moment where I was highly emotional. So you know how this has kind of been blown out of proportion, but that's kind of what social media is. It's part of what it is. And you can't take the bad, you have to take the good with the bad. And so it is what it is. Shout out to Harley Initiated. I still think that if people watch the interview all the way through, y'all would know that a lot of this stuff is not really exactly what that is. And that's okay. Like I said, you can't be on social media space. You're gonna have great days, you're gonna have bad days. It's part of the gamble that you take being on a platform. And I took that risk. And I took full accountability. I did not talk about anything with my particular, the in-depth part of my relationship or, what led me to the decision of divorce. I didn't talk about any of the specifics. I'm not going to. I've always said that is not something I will ever address out of respect to my child's father, because regardless, we have a child and I never, ever, ever want to be anywhere where I'm bad-mouthing him. I just don't think that that's the way to do it. We've already gone through a lot. So it's not for me to badmouth him in any way, shape, or form, which is why that interview was all about me just looking back, and hopefully somebody can get, if they're on that situation and they're considering divorce, they're considering certain things. There are certain things that I want people to take from that, so that hopefully you can make a good decision, the best decision for your situation.
In closing, I would say that this generation talks too damn much. Nobody's willing to do the real work. Marriage is actual work. You know, it's actual work. It, life and death is something that's promised to you, but marriage is something that you actually got to work for. You got to work for it. And the people are not willing to do the work. You know, as soon as the first argument you get, you ready to go. It's just all kinds of stuff. So when you see these people online telling their business, they're doing it for money. A lot of these conversations, a lot of these problems that these people have is none of our business. We shouldn't even know about it. They should be handling that behind closed doors. But again, this is the internet, and people do anything for money. Anything for money, man. So if marriage is something that you want, know that it's going to take work. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice. It's going to take a lot of commitment. And it's going to have to be something that you actually want to do, not just a fantasy. So I'm going to cut this short here. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.